It was supposed to be just another night train. Nothing special, nothing unusual. But for Lucas Bennett, that train would become the most important and terrifying journey of his life. Lucas was 28, a freelance photographer traveling across Canada, chasing assignments, chasing stories, and quietly escaping something he never talked about. That night, he boarded a late train from Toronto to Montreal. Almost empty. Too empty. Only a few passengers scattered through the long, dimly lit compartments. The fluorescent lights flickered slightly, and the train made a deep metallic sound as it started moving through the cold winter darkness. At first, everything felt normal. Lucas sat by the window, headphones in, watching the city lights fade into forests and snow-covered silence. But around 45 minutes into the journey, something changed. The train slowed down, then stopped. No announcement, no station, just stopped in the middle of nowhere. Outside the window there was only darkness and trees covered in snow. No platform, no lights, no signs of life. Lucas frowned. He looked around the compartment. Other passengers were still there, but strangely quiet, almost too still. Then the lights flickered, once, twice, and went out for 3 full seconds. When they came back, one passenger was gone. The seat was empty. No sound, no movement, no explanation. Lucas stood up immediately. "Did someone just get off?" he asked the man across the aisle. The man didn't respond. He was staring forward, blank expression, not blinking. Lucas felt a strange pressure in his chest. Something was wrong. He moved toward the next compartment. Empty. Completely empty. But seconds ago, it wasn't. He remembered seeing people there. Now, only silence. The train started moving again, slowly, like nothing had happened. Lucas went to the corridor connecting the coaches. The lights above him flickered constantly now. The windows outside showed only black forest rushing past. He tried calling the conductor. No response. Then he noticed something strange. The train number plate inside the corridor was different. It no longer matched the train he boarded. His breathing got heavier. He checked his phone. No signal, no time, no location, just blank. Then he saw it. A door at the end of the corridor that wasn't there before. Metal, old, slightly open. Cold air was coming from inside. Against every instinct, Lucas pushed it open. Inside was another compartment, but this one was different. Older design, wooden seats, dim yellow lights, like something from decades ago. And sitting inside were passengers, but not moving, not speaking, just sitting perfectly still, staring forward. Lucas stepped back immediately. The door behind him slammed shut. The train jolted, and suddenly everything changed. The sound of wheels was gone, no motion, no vibration, as if the train was no longer moving through space. Lucas ran back to his original compartment, but it wasn't there anymore. Instead, endless identical corridors stretched in both directions. The train had become something else, something impossible. He started walking, one compartment after another. Every door opened to something slightly different, some empty, some full of silent passengers, some showing landscapes that didn't exist in Canada. Snow deserts, empty cities, dark oceans outside train windows. Reality itself felt broken. Lucas realized something terrifying. This wasn't a train anymore. It was a loop, a moving structure between places that didn't exist. Then he heard a voice behind him, soft, calm. "You weren't supposed to notice." Lucas turned slowly. A conductor stood there, but his face was wrong, too still, too pale, like a mask. "You've been on this train longer than you think," the conductor said. Lucas shook his head. "No, I just boarded in Toronto." The conductor smiled slightly. That's what everyone thinks at the beginning. The lights flickered again, and Lucas saw flashes. Him sitting alone, him walking the corridors, him opening doors. Again and again, the same movements repeated. He wasn't moving forward, he was looping, trapped in the same journey. The conductor stepped closer. This train only stops when someone replaces their place. Lucas stepped back. What does that mean? The conductor pointed toward the silent passengers. They forgot who they were, so the train kept them. Lucas felt his world collapse. He ran, faster and faster through the corridors. Doors kept changing, spaces kept shifting, time felt broken. Then, finally, he saw light, a real station, exit doors. He ran toward it. The train screeched loudly, as if it was resisting. The doors opened. Cold air hit his face. Snow-covered platform. Real world. Lucas fell forward onto the ground, breathing heavily. Behind him, the train stood silent. Normal again. Just a regular night train. No sign of anything strange. People walking normally inside. Lights stable. He turned back slowly. The conductor was gone. But on the window of the train, a reflection appeared. Lucas was still inside, sitting quietly, staring forward, motionless. The train started moving again and disappeared into the night.